Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Defy the Odds. Today, we're talking about masculine structures and masculine energy and what that looks like in our business and how we can use it to actually help us create more stability and more security. When I decided that I wanted more masculine structure, that I was open to it. That is the minute that I started allowing more people into my world, that I tripled my monthly recurring income and actually started hitting higher income months. Now, for those of you who don't know the backstory here, I started my business in 2020 with the intention and the rule for myself that I was only going to do what felt easy and what felt fun. And I was very heavily into human design at the time. And I said to myself that I was only going to operate my business in alignment with my projector energy. I'm a 6-2 splenic projector. And that meant easy, fun, light, effortless, all of these things that felt really, really good on my body. But how that translated into business was that if I didn't want to do email marketing, I wouldn't make myself do it. And I did not do it for the first year of my business. If I didn't feel like posting on Instagram for a week, no worries. I didn't have to. And I would take days and days and days off at a time. Or if it felt uncomfortable to sell my high ticket offers, I wouldn't, which is why I did not publicly sell my high ticket one on one coaching for many, many months. So I had a very flowy, feminine business. And honestly, it worked, right? I made $10,000 my second month in business. I made six figures my first year in business. It was working for me. But what was true was that my business wasn't grounded. It wasn't solid. I did not have a solid foundation. I didn't actually have a strategy. I didn't know what I was doing. I was throwing spaghetti at the wall. The income that I did make was through happenstance. People would randomly DM me and say, "Can I hire you for coaching?" And I'd say, "Sure, here's the package," and they would buy it. But I didn't have any stability, right? My income fluctuated. I would make $2,000 and then I'd make $15,000 and then I'd make $1,000 and then I'd make $4,000. And I never knew where the next sale was coming from because I had zero strategy. And when I got really honest with myself, it felt really unstable and really unsafe. And I could have kept going that way, right? I could have continued. I had made six figures. I could have done it again. But I knew that something was missing. And I knew that I was missing the mark ever so slightly. And I knew that if I wanted to grow to multi six figures, that this feminine energy, this feminine way of doing business with feminine energetics alone was not going to be sustainable. I knew that it was going to ultimately burn me out because I was already feeling really unsafe and I was starting to fall into hustle mode a little bit of launching a new offer every few weeks and feeling like I had to constantly be on. And so I knew that I had to make a decision, especially if I wanted my business to continue feeling easy and fun. And so the decision that I made was that I was going to stop believing that masculine energetics, that masculine structures were boring. I was going to stop believing that that masculine energy would drain all of the life and soul and passion and authenticity out of my business, right? Because I'd seen so many people, and this was actually the beginning of my story back in 2012, who had built their business purely on masculine structures and masculine energy. And it felt stale. It felt boring. It felt too rigid. It felt lifeless. And I had this belief that it had to be one way or the other. And so I had to release that belief and believe that I could integrate the two, that just because I had masculine structures didn't mean that I would lose the soul and the heart of my business. It didn't mean that I had to lose my personality in my business. And it didn't mean that I had to become someone who was salesy or sleazy or using all these bro marketing tactics, right? There was a better, more aligned way to start incorporating masculine structures into my business. And so I had to start seeing the power of these masculine structures. And I had to believe that if I embraced these structures and began using them, that then I could actually relax into the feminine and I could release all of that pressure and stress and tension that I was feeling. And I had to start believing that if I started using these masculine structures, that it wouldn't mean that I was going to have to hustle more, but actually it would open up more space in my schedule. And so the minute I decided to take back my power, which is really what it was, and I told myself that I was going to be no longer available for a business that felt rocky, that I desired and deserved stability and security and consistency and predictability, and that the masculine structures is what was going to be able to provide that for me. That's when I started making more money. That's when the clients began coming in. That's when 50 new people came into my world. That's when I signed 2 new clients in a week. That's when I signed a 6-month client. That's when I tripled my MRR. And the really cool thing about this is that because I'm in balance now and I'm no longer at one end of the spectrum or the other with these feminine or masculine energetics, I'm the perfect coach for people no matter which camp they're in, right? So if you're someone who's built your business purely on these feminine energetics, on manifestation and holding the vibe, and if I just trust the money's coming in, but your foundation feels really wobbly and you don't have any strategy that's guaranteeing your results, I can help walk you into these masculine structures. And I'm actually going to go through that in just a second to give you a little bit more clarity around it. But we can create that stability for you that feels so freaking good. And that's going to guarantee you better outcomes and higher incomes. Or on the other hand, if you're someone who's built your business 100% with the masculine structures and your business feels so boring and you're showing up like a robot and you're building out these funnels that make you want to poke your eyes out, we can make your brand and your business come alive with some feminine energetics. We can breathe some life back into it, right? So this is not like I'm not on a soapbox here saying that one is better than the other, that masculine structures are the way to go. I don't believe that. I believe that if you want to scale your business beyond 6 figures in a way that feels really safe and really solid, and you want that predictable income, that you need both. You need both. I don't think there's any other way around it. So, when we're talking masculine structures, because most people who come into my world, that's what they're looking for. When we're talking about these masculine structures, what we're talking about is really nailing down who that ideal client is. Does this person that you're working with, that you're talking to, do they light you up? Do you love working with them or are you settling? Does this person just feel really comfortable, right? Is there any bit of resentment in there? And this is a very like business 101 question. I get that. But I think so many people just skim over it and don't actually sit down and be honest with themselves about it. I know that I wasn't, even as early as 6 months ago. I thought I knew who my ideal client was, but they weren't actually my ideal dream client. They were just the person that felt easiest for me to sell to. My ideal client was so much more elevated, so much further along, so much more in her power. That's the kind of person I actually wanted to be working with, right? So it's like, who is this ideal client? We really need to unpack that and not let that hold you back any longer. Like, no excuses, like, stretch yourself, right? And look at, are there any fears you have around serving a person who is more in their power? That might bring up some old patterns you have around needing to be the savior or needing to have all the answers. Because if you elevate your ideal client, and this is a rock star person now who's walking side by side, who doesn't need or want you to save them, what does that mean about you? What's your role as the coach or the mentor then, right? Then we need to really solidify the outcome that you can guarantee this person when they're working with you. Right. And remember, this is your most ideal client. This is the person who is motivated. This is the person who comes in ready to do the work, right? They are driven. So what outcome do you 100% know that you can guarantee this person if they show up and do the work? And what evidence do you have that you can deliver this outcome? How are you overqualified to serve this person? Right. And just in these few questions, there's so much content for you. Like, go look at your Instagram right now and see if it's clear. Is it clear what outcome you're delivering your people? Is it clear who you're speaking to? Or is your messaging, is your copy all over the place? So, once we're clear on who your most empowered client is, the transformation you provide, the outcomes you provide, then we can nail down the offers that you're selling. And this is really where the structures come in. Like that first part, who's the client and what's the transformation? That's like the before. The structures that actually come in here. What are your offers? What's your messaging? What's your launch strategy or social media strategy? So, what are these offers that you're selling? And are these offers meeting the needs of this most empowered client? Because we want you to be able to deliver next level results so that these people keep coming back for more, and not because they need to, right? This person doesn't need saving, but because they want to. They want to be in your world. They want to continue learning. They want to continue growing. They want to continue walking with you. So, my process is that we focus on filling your high ticket spaces first, your one on one spaces. And once those spaces are filled, then we can create some mini offers and some on ramps for new potential clients to come in. So, here's some questions to help you with this. What are the key factors that your most empowered clients have that they have to hit on the way to that highest deliverable outcome, right? What are the mile markers they have to hit along the way? And what type of offer could help them achieve just one specific part of that outcome, right? Maybe you have pillars that you walk them through. That could be a mini offer in itself. What needs to happen for this person to guarantee they're going to achieve that result? What needs to happen in their world with their mindset, with their belief system? What actions do they need to take? What needs to change in their world? And what does this space look like? When you're thinking about your offers, what does the space look like? What does it feel like? What's included in it? What's the focus? How much support is in there? What's the price point of it? These are all structures. And once you're clear on the structure of your high ticket offer, and then we can reverse engineer your mini offers, those on ramp offers, we have your product suite coming to life, right? And then we get to focus on what to say in your messaging so that you feel so grounded and so confident, and you can post with intentionality and you know exactly what to say to call in new clients today. So when you look at your Instagram feed right now, again, is it obvious who you help? Is it obvious who your ideal client is? Or is someone going to come across this and be like, oh, I don't know if this person could help me. I don't know what it is that they do. I don't know what outcome they deliver. I don't know why I would hire them. And what is your most empowered client desiring? What is she desiring? What questions is she asking herself right now? What is she struggling with right now? What is she prioritizing right now? Is she prioritizing um, her health? Is she prioritizing getting back into the workforce after having a baby? Is she prioritizing predictable steady income in her business? Is she prioritizing making her first sale? Is she prioritizing her romantic relationships? What is she prioritizing? And are you creating content speaking to that? We need to make sure that our messaging is speaking to what your client wants, what her problem is, how you are the best person to help her achieve that, right? This is the crux of it. These are the masculine structures. It's elevating your ideal client. It's nailing down that highest deliverable outcome. It's having offers that get your clients real results. And it's dialing up the power in your messaging and making it so specific and so clear. And when you do this, honestly, like your work becomes so simple. All you have to do is create content every day with this clear, concise messaging, speaking to your ideal client and leading them into your high ticket spaces. This is the strategy. This is the strategy we have. And when this is our strategy, it's this simple, it's this easy. It doesn't take forever in your day. Literally, it takes you an hour or two every day to create an incredible piece of content, to talk about it in your stories. Maybe you go live, maybe you have a couple client calls, and you're done with work for the day. Simple. but still structure. You know exactly what to do. You know exactly what you're focusing on. You have a clear plan of action. And within that, you get to relax. You get to breathe. You get to tap into the ease and the flow and the effortlessness. And you get to hold the frequency of being a match for your ideal client, which is the feminine energetics of this all. I hope that this is landing for you. And I hope that this gave you a little bit of clarity on exactly what I mean when I'm talking about feminine energy and masculine energy and which way you might be leaning in your business and what you might need to shift or change or begin implementing so that you have a little bit more balance there. Now, I shared with you some questions today and a part of my process and the masculine structures that I have in my business. But if you are listening to this on March 8th, before March 11th, I would like to invite you into my new mini program called 20K in 20 days. This is a program where I am walking you through the process that I take all my one-on-one clients through to help them hit bigger money months, to grow to that point in their business where they're making 20K a month. Now, I'm not guaranteeing you're making 20K during these 20 days of this mini program, but I'm guaranteeing that you will have a process that you can walk yourself through again and again. And if you do this work, again, with intentionality and with focus and with depth, I can guarantee that eventually you will hit 20K months. So when I get a new client during our first call, I take them through this process, right? We talk about who is that most empowered client? What is your highest deliverable outcome that you know you can deliver and that you're excited to deliver? What do you do with your clients? How do you do it? What is your process? And then what's that highest ticket offer? And then creating messaging around that. That's all what we do on my first call with my clients. And I'm taking you through this process inside of 20K in 20 days so that you become unstoppable. You have such a deeper relationship with your work and what you do and how to share that online so that your people can find you and know that you're the one that they want to hire. So I'm so excited about this offer. 20K in 20 days begins on March 11th and it runs for 20 days straight. There's going to be a challenge every single day. There's going to be a training. There's going to be an activation. There's going to be a journaling prompt, like something for you to do to take a step forward in your business, to build that momentum and to continue growing on your way to 20K months. So if you would like to join us, send me a message on Instagram and I can grab you that link. It's only $111, which is like completely mind blowing. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message. If you love this episode, please share it online. Tag me at Ashley Wilhite Coaching. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye.